You probably spent years trying to become more disciplined, only to realize the real problem was never discipline, because what looks like consistency on the outside is normally the result of an internal system that most people never intentionally build. And the people performing at a high level consistently aren't relying on willpower the way you think they are. They build mental frameworks that reduce friction, conserve energy, and make execution more predictable. Meanwhile, most people are trying to force better outcomes without ever redesigning the systems that produce their behavior. This video is about the hidden operating systems behind consistency. Most people think performance is emotional. They think the reason that they're inconsistent is because they're lazy, unmotivated, distracted, or they just suck. But in reality, most people are just operating inside systems that were never designed to support the life that they want to live. They say they want focus while constantly overstimulating themselves. They say they want better health while maintaining routines that drain their energy every day. Then eventually, they internalize the failure and say, maybe I lack self-discipline. But what if the issue isn't character? What if it's architecture? Because high performers don't just think differently, they build differently. Everybody has a mental map, a framework that shapes what you notice, how you interpret things, what you tolerate, what you avoid, and ultimately, how you behave. The problem is, most people never consciously design this map. They inherit it from childhood, from environment, from fear, from social conditioning, even survival patterns, culture, and repeated emotional states. And over time, those patterns become automatic, which means eventually you stop choosing certain behaviors consciously and start operating them subconsciously. That's why someone can know exactly what they should do and still not do it, because information alone does not override the programming. This is why two people can have the exact same advice and produce completely different outcomes. One person integrates it, the other person engages in resistance. It's not because they're incapable, but because their internal system isn't aligned with the behavior. And once you start understanding this, you stop looking at performance as motivation and start seeing it as system design. High performers are usually doing a few things differently beneath the surface. The first thing is they inspect themselves honestly and they pay attention to patterns. They notice where their energy drops, where they self-sabotage, where they procrastinate, and where they may have a tendency to emotionally drift. Most people avoid self-inspection because, let's be real, it's uncomfortable. But inspection creates awareness, and awareness creates choice. The second thing high performers do is reduce friction. They don't rely on constant emotional intensity to perform. They create environments and systems that makes execution easier, because every unnecessary decision consumes energy. Every distraction consumes energy. Every unresolved internal conflict consumes your energy. And most people are far more mentally exhausted than they realize.